For this portion of the inauguration ceremony, I would like to ask our First Lady to join us on stage. The Bible that will be held by Dr. Greene's wife, Carolyn, belonged to the 21st president of Georgetown College, Dr. Robert L. Mills. Bob Mills, who is son of President Mills, and Bob's wife, Maggie, both Georgetown College graduates, are here with us today. President Greene, as Provost and Dean of the College, it is my high honor on behalf of Georgetown College to administer the oath of office to you. Please raise your right hand and place your left hand on the Bible and repeat after me. I, Michael Dwaine Greene, do solemnly promise.
I, Michael Dwaine Greene, do solemnly promise
that I will faithfully execute my duties as President of Georgetown College and will, to the best of my ability, preserve and promote the vision and mission of Georgetown College. So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations on being formally vested with the authority and responsibilities of the presidency of Georgetown College.
One of the most important parts is the ceremonial symbols associated with Dr. Greene's inauguration, and that's the presidential chain of office. This chain is a necklace of metal, which includes 24 medallions, one for each of the former presidents. This chain of office will be worn by the president at all formal academic occasions and identifies him as a designated leader of our college. The use of chains and medallions, known as livery collars, ornate and durable symbols of the authority of his office. So certainly, it's my honor on behalf of the board to bestow the Georgetown College Presidential Chain of Office on President Michael Dwaine Greene.
Chairman Good, Vice Chair Blevins, trustees, distinguished alumni, honored guests, students, faculty, staff, and friends of Georgetown College, I thank you for your presence today. For you to have taken time away from your other interests and responsibilities for this occasion is something that I deeply appreciate. For some of you, your presence here deepens a personal relationship which has extended many years. For others of you, it rekindles your love and devotion to the college which has long stirred a special warmth in your heart. Still for others, you may be fulfilling a requirement or perhaps you were looking for a way to occupy a Friday afternoon and you landed here. But whatever the case, please know that we appreciate your presence. To some extent, words of thanks can express our feelings, but they cannot adequately describe how grateful Carolyn and I are for the wonderful reception that we have received since arriving at Georgetown College. There is a genuineness about the college, this community, and its people. It is welcoming and it is refreshing. We're enjoying being in the midst of many fine people, and we are most appreciative of the ways that you have embraced us since our arrival here a year ago. I want to add a word of thanks to those who've made the events of this day possible. Ceremonies of this magnitude do not merely happen, rather they occur only with the hard work of many individuals. While I gladly acknowledge the efforts of many people, I mention one as representative of them all, namely Mr. Robin Oldham, who has chaired the planning committee which ably shaped this inauguration. The task unfolded by the hundreds, and Robin and our colleagues handled them marvelously well. So to all who were involved in any way, please receive our genuine thanks for the long hours and the dedicated efforts which have led to the success of this day. In 4 days, I will have occupied the presidency of Georgetown College for 1 year. As a part of this ceremony, I've received the formal symbols of the office, and I have done so with humility and with appreciation and with commitment. As for humility, it includes my tribute to those individuals who served over the course of 185 years as presidents of Georgetown College. Their names are engraved on the bars of the chain which I now wear. In wearing this chain of office, I honor the devotion, the efforts, and the achievements of my predecessors. Every one of them faced challenges, but they stood with loyalty and boldness and vision in the context of their days, and I am glad to honor them as Christian people of faith and of courage. On this inauguration day, we begin writing another page of the Georgetown narrative, which has extended over 185 years. But those 185 years signal far more than just the age of an institution. They are the foundation of a college that has been refreshed every single one of those years by youth and enthusiasm. Indeed, that energy is one of the beautiful things about a college, and I love it. It keeps me young. It keeps balance in my perspective. So students, young and old, wherever you are, thank you for that. As one dimension of my appreciation, I want to thank the Board of Trustees for selecting me as president. There were others who might have been chosen, but the trustees turned to a seventh-generation North Carolinian, and in doing so, they placed their hope and trust in a man who knew little about Georgetown College or even Kentucky. The path which led us here was more agonizing than most will ever know. But it is a path which we follow as guided by our faith in the Lord and by our discernment of His will as best we understand it. I am here to serve the Lord in working toward the accomplishment of His purposes. In doing so from the position of president, it is my ongoing prayer that such will be for the good of Georgetown College. I regard this presidency as the highest honor and the most formidable challenge of my professional career. At the same time, I acknowledge the experiences of the years which have prepared me for these moments. Those experiences have shaped within me a driving passion to pursue what is worthy and to do so with all the zeal that I can muster. I pledge a commitment to Georgetown College as a community of learning and faith, that as long as I am privileged to serve as president, I shall endeavor to pursue the mission of the college, strive to uphold its ideals, and act responsibly in seeking its greater good. A portion of my daily prayers is entreaty for wisdom and strength. May God grant them to me in portions commensurate to my task and to His grace. From my perspective, there is so much about Georgetown College that is impressive. Last year, in my first address to the college, I encouraged everyone associated with Georgetown to be proud, because Georgetown has earned that respect and that affirmation. For many decades, Georgetown has lived in fulfillment of its Christian purposes while honoring the truest of Baptist traditions. It has maintained a strong faculty, which has led a superb academic program. It has built and sustained an athletic program that has few equals among small colleges in this country. It has produced thousands of graduates whose successes stand on equal footing with those touted by the most prominent colleges and universities in this country. On and on we could go in praising the college, and the praise would be well deserved. Thus, I began a presidency with great admiration for Georgetown College, and I would encourage all of its constituents to stand with abundant pride on its behalf. But we turn now to the question of where do we go from here? In addressing the question, I began with a story about Albert Einstein as recounted in his biography written by Walter Isaacson. As some of you know from your studies, Einstein lived the last 22 years of his life in Princeton, New Jersey. He had accepted a position at Princeton University's Institute for Advanced Study, and he and his wife lived in a modest house at 112 Mercer Street. Dr. Einstein loved to take walks through the town of Princeton. Those were often quiet, rambling walks, the function of which was to provide opportunity for his deep, concentrated thinking. Many times he would be found at some unexpected location, simply standing and thinking. One day, the secretary at the institute where he worked received a phone call from someone who asked to speak with a particular dean. When the secretary responded that the dean wasn't available, the caller asked if she could tell him Dr. Einstein's home address, to which the secretary replied that she was not supposed to give out that information. The caller's voice then quieted to a whisper and continued, "Please don't tell anybody, but I'm Dr. Einstein. I'm on my way home, and I've forgotten where my house is." Now, the reason I share that story is to illustrate the reality that institutions need to know both who they are and where they are going. In recent years, there has been some suggestion that the Georgetown compass may be slightly tilted. But on that matter, I want to be especially direct and clear. And in doing so, I believe I represent the unanimous resolve of the Georgetown Board of Trustees. The first sentence of the mission statement of Georgetown College states it well. The mission of Georgetown College is to prepare students to engage in their life's pursuits with thoughtfulness and skill by providing an exceptional educational experience in a vibrant Christian community. Faithful to its history and traditions, Georgetown College is to remain a Christian institution. This is an abiding conviction and the beacon to guide this college as it moves forward. As an institution of higher education, Georgetown is to glow as a sacred flame kindled almost 2 centuries ago. It is a light which has inspired thousands who have come this way and then stepped forward as radiance in the world. Across this commonwealth and far beyond, there are Georgetown graduates who bring light into fields of medicine, law, business, education, ministry, and many others after having lived the Georgetown experience. Georgetown's is a way which seeks understanding through free and thoughtful inquiry. It welcomes diverse perspectives and traditions. It has the courage not only to reinforce convictions as appropriate, but to confront and to challenge so as to stretch minds and to deepen faith. As a thinking person and as president of a college, I accord no credence to the defense of narrow religious tenets which are inconsistent with the findings of a critical mind or the spirit of kindness exemplified by our Lord Jesus Christ. I recoil from perspectives which constrict and exclude and alienate. The challenges of a troubled world will not be solved by narrow absolutism. To the contrary, they can most effectively be addressed by enlightened thinking, conditioned by intellectual honesty, flavored by a spirit of caring and service, and exercised with both freedom and strength. I am proud to stand as a Baptist and affirm the caring and intelligent quest for understanding lived daily at the Senior Baptist College in Kentucky, and know that it is a quest worthy of our collective diligence and pursuit. In speaking of the academic program of the college for the years ahead, I favor the terms preserve and progress. First, there is so much to be preserved. There is an academic quality and distinctive approach to learning at Georgetown that many other institutions would do well to emulate. There is an approach to learning which is extraordinary. It begins with faculty who are dedicated to their students and who utilize their command of their academic fields in the service of those students. Indeed, scholarship matters, and it is produced at a high level at Georgetown. But it is scholarship primarily in service to student learning and student maturing. I commend my faculty colleagues at Georgetown as I respect their preparation and their expertise and their success. What Georgetown College has accomplished through the preparation of students in the liberal arts tradition has few peers. I stand with my colleagues in being proud of that tradition. From my perspective, there is nothing impractical about preparing students to think clearly, analyze carefully, communicate well, and lead successfully. For a student to have an understanding of history, to develop an appreciation for literature, to be thoughtful in matters of religion while embracing advances in the sciences, to communicate well, to study languages, to understand mathematical principles, and to be proficient in technologies, to have a discerning mind in matters of ethics and responsibility. These are all immensely practical dimensions to being a successful citizen in the world. I'm a product of such training. I understand its value, and I stand here as an advocate for education in the liberal arts tradition. When I see how well it has been practiced at Georgetown College, I lift it up with even greater admiration. I intend to help Georgetown stay on the offensive when it comes to liberal arts preparation. Indeed, we provide a first-rate education. It meets well our students' needs, and it has a currency which will remain in demand. Georgetown has had a wonderful tradition of making education personal. It is delivered by people who care and who genuinely seek the quality of human interaction that makes learning exhilarating. It is delivered by great teachers who do in fact have something to profess. They are technologically skilled, but they do not use that technology to evade the human interaction which is so essential. A text, a tweet, or a post, all these are useful. but they are incomplete if left standing apart from face-to-face communication. The beautiful M.C. Escher lithograph, Drawing Hands, is wonderfully symbolic of the educational ideal, just as each of two hands shapes the other. So professors creatively shape their students, while students as well help form their professors. I have little interest in favoring only those students who will be the future elite in our society. The more worthy aim is to provide quality education for capable and motivated students at multiple levels. Georgetown should not strive to be elitist in preferring students from upper social and economic classes, or perhaps only from the upper tiers of IQ scores or standardized tests. Rather, Georgetown should approach its admissions and educational resolve with regard to what it can do for all students. Our approach should be far more egalitarian than elitist. We should welcome various ability levels and understand them as modifiable rather than fixed. We should certainly admit capable and motivated students and move them through an education the Georgetown way. And in doing so, we must stretch our students intellectually and culturally and socially till at the conclusion of their time with us, they are more intellectually advanced, socially stronger, and morally responsible. At a minimum, the Georgetown motto, "Live, Learn, Believe," must include social, intellectual, and faith development. On the academic front, a second term which highlights the years to come is the verb progress. I began here with another brief quote from Albert Einstein when, in a February 5th, 1930 letter to his son Edward, he wrote, "Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you have to keep moving." As I have already acknowledged, Georgetown College has had wonderful success in preparing students in the liberal arts. But what is needed now is liberal arts extended. As I see it, what is needed in the immediate future is for Georgetown to keep moving with an expansion of programs which point to professional and employment interests of students. This is not to diminish the importance of liberal arts disciplines. It is simply to be realistic in facing the economic and employment realities of students and their families. What I'm suggesting here is nothing new to Georgetown. It simply needs a renewed emphasis. The college has had pre-professional and professional programs for many years, but in recent decades, those have diminished in visibility as the college has withdrawn a bit into itself. What we must do at this juncture is to step forward once again with boldness and resolve. For example, Georgetown has only begun to touch what it can do in the fields of healthcare and in business. We will seek to grow in these and other areas as the college propels its influence beyond its immediate borders. The concept of career preparation needs to be trumpeted alongside training in the arts and sciences. We are, to quote the college's mission statement, an institution which offers excellent academic preparation in the liberal arts, sciences, and professions. We can take a marketing major and educate that student in communicating, analyzing, and creating. Or we can take a criminal justice major and add to her preparation skill in social analysis, mediation, and moral reasoning. We can shape a student majoring in sports administration so that the student's preparation is not merely that of basic skills in managing within the sports industry, but also includes understanding of social and cultural issues affecting sports-related organizations. These are not novel ideas for the college, nor is this approach new to the liberal arts. It is rather a matter of emphasis. I recently heard Arthur Levine, president of the Woodrow Wilson Foundation, say that liberal arts has always had one foot on the street. He went on to articulate the approach that I am espousing, namely, strength in the liberal arts and sciences extended into the practicality of professions. In other words, a type of liberal arts extended. For Georgetown College, this approach is not only mission consistent, it is imperative for a successful future. It is also worthy of support. I stand here as your president and now set forth a charge to every friend of Georgetown College that you shoulder the full measure of your capability in ensuring the future welfare of this college. On the shoulders of administrators, trustees, alumni, and friends rests the responsibility for determining whether this college crawls forward with a meager existence or whether it flourishes to the extent that is worthy of its ideals. It is the latter which is our vision. It is the latter toward which I encourage us all as we strive with unbridled optimism. Georgetown College needs now to flourish. There is a potential here which is bursting to be released. It is potential built on the honor of the Georgetown traditions, on the worthiness of its mission, on the many successes through its decades, on the commitment of its people, and now on the freshness of vision. Here sits a college which can transform lives beyond anything it has yet accomplished. The expertise and the commitment are here, but it will take financial resources to make it happen. And so I extend to you this day, not merely an invitation for support, but an opportunity to stand strong for a cause that you love. Let your dedication be a transforming dedication, one which is accompanied by assurance from our Lord that your care for Georgetown College is in His good will. It is my honor to lead Georgetown College, and I thank you for entrusting me with its leadership. What I ask of you now is to join me in renewing Georgetown College. Join me in recruiting students to the extraordinary experience that is here. Join me in providing abundant financial support for the worthy purposes that are here. Join me in sharing the Georgetown story that has meant so much to you. Then hold these things in your heart with the full assurance that what is unfolding at Georgetown College is a renewal in the will of our good Lord, who is indeed our beacon and our guide. As I look forward to the years ahead, once again, I thank you for sharing these moments. May God bless Georgetown College. Thank you.